Good.
So I am really honored to have Marten Mickos, CEO of HackerOne here. It's a real pleasure to have you with us at the Threatpost talk show. I really thank you for being here. And for anybody who doesn't know you, please introduce yourself.
My name is Marten Mickos. I'm CEO of HackerOne, the leading company in hacker part security, meaning bug bounty programs, vulnerability disclosure programs. We have over 100,000 security researchers and freelance hackers who will break into your systems and tell you what's wrong. And that's good news, because otherwise somebody else will break into your systems and they won't tell you anything.
Well, thank you for that. One of the most interesting storylines about HackerOne is your work with the United States government, and really, making some amazing inroads, changing perspectives, and really redefining what it means to be a white hat hacker. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of bug bounty hunting within the U.S. government and how that's really been a game changer for the industry as in a whole?
Well, we're used to thinking that the government is always lagging behind and slow. Here, they are more progressive than most companies. So they realize that lots of software vulnerabilities and security vulnerabilities in the systems. So they came to us and said, can you hack us? And then they had the courage to give the project the name Hack the Pentagon. So 2 years ago, we started hacking. We found 137 vulnerabilities in just a few weeks, valid vulnerabilities that they fixed. And now we are on an ongoing program with the DoD. So we hack the Air Force, we hack the Army. They choose which part of the DoD we hack at any given time.
But it's more than that. I mean, it's really private industry, private companies taking a look at what you're doing with the government and saying, hey, if the U.S. government allows, if the Department of Defense is going to allow white hat hackers to hack the Pentagon, then what has this meant for the acceptance of bug bounty programs within the private sector?
Yes, of course, it shows that even if you are the most powerful organization on the planet with the biggest budgets and with everything unlimited, you need the help from voluntary hackers on the outside to really identify your vulnerabilities. And it's weird, but there's no product, nothing here on the exhibition floor that can find vulnerabilities as fast and as thoroughly as independent white hat hackers. They just outperform any technology.
So when did you start working with the U.S. government? When did you start working with the Department of Defense?
The Hack the Pentagon, the first one was 2 years ago in the spring of 2016.
Okay, so when you think about the bug bounty landscape and some of the the barriers that you broke through, how has that bug bounty landscape changed? How are things different today than they were 2 years ago? And where are we headed, do you think, within the sort of the acceptance of bug bounty programs?
Well, first of all, we have identified by now 3,600 vulnerabilities in DoD systems, and they fixed them. That is 3,600 fewer ways for an adversary to break into their system. So they are much more secure today. But of course, there's more work to do. The bug bounty practice has been around for many years already, so it hasn't changed that much, but the acceptance is much larger. So today we serve big banks, retail companies, medical companies, technology companies, media companies, and so on.
It sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a great plan. What are the common misconceptions that you hear in the marketplace when you're talking about bug bounty programs, or when a company is apprehensive about embracing a bug bounty program?
Well, there are old principles in the security business which are now becoming obsolete. People had a very big belief in technical products, and now they realize that human beings are a better solution. There was an old school of believing in secrecy and keeping things in a very small group. Now we learn that the best defense is shared defense and pooled defense and sharing information. So we are going through philosophical shifts in how we do security.
One of the things I think has changed the landscape is our perception on privacy. Privacy has become almost one of the things that we care about as consumers, as much as vulnerabilities, as much as our computers, or as much as the services that we rely on getting hacked. Can there be a bug bounty program that addresses some of the privacy concerns that a lot of people have right now and today?
Well, first of all, any bug bounty program protects privacy because it removes opportunities for data breaches for criminals. So that's already good. Additionally, we're now seeing organizations applying the same model, not just to find vulnerabilities in software code, but also finding vulnerabilities in policies, finding vulnerabilities in data and data stores. So yes, I do think it will serve privacy in an even bigger way than before.
Well, I know that Facebook has announced a privacy bounty program. I think it sounds unique, but I think you're right. I mean, the overall securing services is a privacy play. So, I mean, I think it's fascinating, bug bounty programs. There's always this push-pull with the bounty hunters and with the companies that are paying the bounty hunters. Can you talk a little bit about the relationship and some of the push and pull when it comes to somebody finding a bug and then a company being willing to go public with that bug, for better or for worse, making them look good, bad, or I don't know. Can you talk a little bit about that relationship?
Yeah. When a bug hunter reports a bug, there are three things which he or she will care about. One is how fast does the company respond. Number two is what's the size of the bounty? How much will the company pay? And number three is how openly can you talk about it or not? And all of these are in the hands of the companies, so it's very important that companies act in good intent and with good practices. We believe that when a vulnerability is reported, it should be kept secret so that the company has time to fix it. Once it is fixed, the best thing you can do is to publish it for everybody else to learn from. And we have such a service. We call it the Hacktivity feed. You can go to HackerOne.com/Hacktivity and you can read all the latest reports that have been published. And then you learn. You learn to build safer systems. You learn to be a good ethical hacker. You can learn about technology.
Great. Do you have any, just in a closing thought, do you have any thoughts or advice for any companies that may be considering a bug bounty program? How do you do a self-assessment to see if you're the right size or you're in the right place in terms of your growth to actually launch a bug bounty program?
We always talk about bug bounties because it's a common term. What's really important is the fundamental service, which is called a vulnerability disclosure program. And I will say every single company with a digital asset should have a way of receiving vulnerability reports from the external world. Everybody should have a vulnerability intake. And you can do it yourselves. You could just have an email inbox, security at, or you can use a vendor like us to automate it. But it's stupid and irresponsible and negligent not to listen to the external world for their suggestions and input.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I learned a lot, and it's a pleasure meeting you. And I want to thank everybody for coming by. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Thank you.